Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Oxcord Podcast, presented by Boot Crew Media and sponsored by Maker's Mark. I am your host, Cruz Oxenrider. As always, joined by the co-host, Nick Perkins, who looks like he is 20 seconds from passing out. And, of course, the intern, Bond Snow. Boys, what is up? What is going on? Happy long weekend. So I hope you all had a good one.
Yeah, no, good long weekend, and give me some credit. It's at least 40 seconds until I pass out, so
It's not
just
the
give me
first
some
time you
credit
can
there.
last 40 seconds. So.
Oh, come on, that's shit.
Sorry, that was mean.
That was mean.
That was mean. I'm sorry.
Bond, how was your weekend, man?
It was all right. Didn't really do much. It was parents' weekend down here, so all the bars were packed, so we just stayed in.
Love to see it. Yeah, it was not too much going on this weekend. Had a nice, relaxing, kind of got a little too much sun going on, so my face kind of hurts. A little.
I was about to say, I've never seen another human being sunburnt in February. That's wild.
Yeah, well, the perks of living in the South, man, it's pretty great. So
I don't know what you're talking about. It's still cold up here.
No, it was like 70. It was like in the 70s all weekend, and I laid out today. It's pretty nice. Can't complain. So not too much going on in the world of sports this week. We had an interesting brawl in college hoops. We had probably the worst all-star slam dunk contest of all time, and Zion just hates the city of New Orleans apparently. But we got to touch on the fight that went down in Ann Arbor this week, and Juwan Howard, coach of Michigan Wolverines, didn't like a certain timeout towards the end of the games and exchanged some words. Things got a little heated. Things got a little cheeky, and all. The next thing I know, like open palm slap, bitch slap, or punch, or whatever it was happened, and then all hell breaks loose. And I haven't seen anything happen like that in a long time, especially in college basketball. So I was just like, So I didn't know about it until actually until y'all sent me the video, and I'm like, holy shit, what is happening right now?
I randomly caught that super early. The video that I sent you had been posted 3 minutes prior to, so obviously it was in real time happening.
Yeah.
But what was just wild about that is okay, fight. Okay, got a little cheeky, got a little chirpy at the end. Obviously Michigan trying to get into the tournament, tensions can run high. But didn't really expect Juwan Howard, the head coaches. I think he actually threw the punch or the open palm at some assistant coach, but whatever. Yeah. But obviously it started between the two head coaches. And I'd love to see actually where your opinion's at here, because it's kind of shocking to see how many people are defending Juwan Howard right now.
I don't know. I'm indifferent. I'm really indifferent about it. I saw something too. I saw a video of Juwan Howard and the Wisconsin coach exchanging handshakes at the end of the game. Greg Gard, I believe is his name. And I saw them exchanging how they normally do. And it looks like they're actually good friends. It seemed like they're hugging and, fist bumping and, great games here and there. So it didn't seem like there was ever any bad blood between these two. So I know Wisconsin beat Michigan and it was kind of I don't know. I mean, I know there's some unwritten rules of basketball and baseball and all this crap that goes on, but
I think it's more of a respect thing, right?
I think so too.
Wisconsin. So I guess the story on that, and this is coming from the point of view of Juwan Howard, right?
Yeah,
is saying, okay, the game is won. Why are you calling a timeout when it's needless? You're just extending the game for no reason. And so he obviously didn't like that. It's probably a lack of respect type deal.
Yeah.
Or just, in general, not good sportsmanship, I guess. And I mean, for sure, I think he has absolutely a reason to be upset about it and maybe even comment on it. But, and obviously, you have the handshake at the end, they meet in the middle. And it seems to me watching the video, what was the Wisconsin guy's name? What's his name?
Oh, the head coach, Greg Gard.
Greg Gard. Yeah. He kind of grabs him, Juwan was just going to walk past, say, hey, good game, and walk past. And then Greg Gard grabs him and was I want to tell you, almost explain why I did what I did.
Yeah.
Maybe let's just say that that's true.
Yeah.
And Juwan being in a awful mood, his team just got ran off the court. Essentially, he's already on the bubble. This loss doesn't make it any better for him. It's tensions were probably high, emotions were high, and like I'm not coming to the defense of Juwan Howard. I'm not. But I can understand if you're in a really bad mood and then you're just trying to get to the locker room and get out of there, some dude grabs you and like won't let you go, how the tensions can kind of boil over. I can see that. Now, a head coach of a major collegiate sport need to have, your emotions under control in that situation, but I can at least see why he blew up the way he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seemed like I think the emotions just got the best of Juwan Howard. I mean, and if you go back and you watch probably one of my favorite 30 for 30s, the Fab Five, back when he played at Michigan, he was a fiery guy as well. And like I said, like he's a really good coach for what he's done. Not a lot of players can come in and do the job he's done at Michigan. And I think it was just a bad game. Nothing really seemed to go Michigan's way. And I think just him being a former player and now a current head coach, the timeout just rubbed them the wrong way. Yes, I know it could have been avoided, but I mean, there's some situations where, look, a lot of these like bench players don't really get a lot of valuable minutes, so it's their time to like run the offense. That's why I don't have problems with like teams like Bama or Ohio State or Georgia or like the big college football teams that run their offense when the second and third string's in. If you don't like it, stop it.
Sure. No, I get that.
But in this case, it was just forcing a turnover. Michigan would have got the ball back. And basketball, it's like the clock can stop so easy in basketball where it's like, hey, you miss a couple free throws, you do this, you do that. So things can change. So I just think it was more of just like, hey, like we're not set. Our guys don't know what they're doing. Call a timeout, inbound the ball, go from there. And I guess Juwan just didn't like it. I guess he just got caught the wrong way. Mm-hmm. My biggest surprise of it was the fact he only got suspended 5 games.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah.
It's the end of the regular season. He'll be back for the Big Ten championship or Big Ten tournament, and he got fined $40,000. I think he kind of got off easy.
I 100% agree. I think I thought there was a definite chance I felt like honestly he should get fired. I shouldn't say should. I had a feeling that he was going to get fired. Like it was that much of like a bad look on his part. And I equate it to, if I had somebody on my team, like if Nick Saban just swung at Kirby Smart after the national championship game for some reason, right? Let's just, whatever. Nick Saban just swings on him. I mean, I'd be like, no, Nick Saban's not going to get fired for that, but like he's definitely going to get in some trouble over it. For sure. But it seems like he just kind of got a slap in the wrist and move right on along.
I have 2 things. One, according to the Big Ten sportsmanship rules, he was only eligible for a $10,000 fine and a 2-game suspension by the Big Ten. So the $40,000 and the 5-game came down from Michigan.
Okay.
That just seems like so little compared to what happened. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but if you're in Michigan's shoes, you're on the bubble now. Do you want to suspend your head coach through tournament play if you make the tournament?
Well, no, of course not.
Like, because right now Michigan in
I'm going to be honest. I don't think they're making the
bracket
anyways.
That got released yesterday is Michigan's currently the last 4 in, so they have to play against the first 4 out to start the tourney.
Yeah.
Assuming that they win out and stuff goes their way.
But see, that's the thing. I don't see this team with this much like off the court controversy happening right now. I don't see this team like coming together right now. I think their season's over.
Didn't Michigan start off like preseason top 10?
They were good. They were supposed to be really good.
Yeah, they were supposed to be really good this year.
So look, it's kind of like the same thing. You can get hot at the right time in March. Like I don't count anybody out in March. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your record is. If you get hot at tournament time, okay, perfect. Like look out. I think that Michigan on the bubble, like what if they go on and like they win? Okay, so next 5 games, they go on and they win 3. They go 3-2 in the next 5, and then they win 2 games in the Big Ten tournament. I mean, you get them in, and it looks better on you. It's like, hey, this team's good enough where they can win without their head coach. So, and what if they upset a Purdue or an Ohio State? That would look great for them. So we'll see what happens.
I want to look at their schedule really quick because I want to see if you guys think they will actually win these because they have to. They have to play Rutgers at home.
Rutgers not bad.
Rutgers isn't bad. I mean, that entire conference isn't bad. Illinois at home, Michigan State at home, Iowa at home, and then they go to Ohio State. So Iowa, I mean, I think the Michigan State, Iowa, Ohio State, the last 3 games of their season, I think are all losses.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Michigan State, Iowa, and then you have to go to Ohio State. And they're playing to, I mean, not to stay in the tournament, but they're playing for seeding right now. So they're not just going to take it easy on you. And those are tough games, man. Those are tough games.
If you're Ohio State or Michigan State and you're winning that game towards the end, do you call timeouts on purpose at the end of the game?
Just troll? Absolutely you do.
Okay,
Absolutely
so
you
do.
Go ahead, Bon.
From the Times, they got an interview, or the CBS got the interview with Guard. He told them that when the timeout was called, he had all of his backups in, and they only had 4 seconds to get the ball past the half court line. And the reason he called the timeout is because he didn't want to put his backups in the position of trying to scramble and get the ball up the court in 4 seconds. And so he got the new 10 seconds from the timeout so they could get organized and get the ball in.
Sure, but I mean, the game was 17-point game at that point. I mean, it was like well out of reach. Who cares?
And Howard said that the reason that he got upset was because Guard tried to touch him in the handshake line, which I don't understand. But this is what is coming from interviews.
But Bond, let me ask you this though, seriously, because it sounds like you're on the screw Juwan Howard that was way out of pocket kind of. That sound okay. So let me ask you a question. You had a rough day at work, whatever happened, and then some dude drunk as hell comes up to you and just grabs you. Right? I know it's a different circumstance, but it's like you're in a bad mood. You don't want to be messed with. Like, and then someone comes and like touches you. I don't like people touching me. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I just don't like it. So if I don't know you, don't touch me. You know what I mean?
Fans of the show, if you see Nick at Innisfree, give him a big old hug.
Yeah, don't give me a hug. Please don't give me a hug. But we are a social distance podcast, and we are living in the COVID times. Please do not touch me.
As I'm going to Mardi Gras tomorrow.
But no, like, I mean, maybe that's a personal thing for me. I don't know, Bond. Maybe you like don't care about that, but like, don't touch me. Like,
well,
seriously.
see, okay, if it's some random dude, yeah, I get that. But it wasn't some random dude. Like, it's a head coach from one of your in-conference rivals, and you gotta know who they are.
Just even if it's your boy, you want to get bear hugged by Vinny when you got home from a 10-hour shift at the restaurant?
I don't know, maybe.
If he's drunk, I would look over it.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm a drunk hugger.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say that. Like, if it's like 3 a.m., or I'm not as bad now, but freshman year, all my friends would joke that like they would know when I'm sufficiently drunk because I started hugging everyone.
Okay, well, that's fair. Physical touch kind of guy. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just like, personally, that's how I feel, so I can kind of understand. I sympathize a little bit. Not making excuses for the guy. He should have kept his temper. Definitely shouldn't have swung on anybody, but I can at least kind of get why it boiled over.
This isn't even the first time that Howard's gotten physical with another head coach.
Seriously?
During the Big Ten conference tournament last year, he had to be separated from Maryland's coach Turgeon, and was ejected with 11 minutes game in the second half, but was never suspended.
Jeez.
So, I mean, now I didn't know that. This is all in the article that I'm reading while we're going through this. But now knowing that he has a history of this, I feel like the 5-game suspension is a little light.
Okay. Well, I think suspending him the rest of the regular season is fair. Going into the Big Ten tournament, we'll see what happens. I think we haven't seen anything like this in college basketball since the Kansas fight. I don't know if you remember that a couple of years ago, where the players were like I think it was Joel Embiid, wasn't it?
Don't test me on that, but I know what you're talking about.
And then look, it's no worse than what Phil Knight used to do. Like Phil Knight threw a chair on a basketball court at a ref.
Phil Knight's kind of a legend, though.
Phil Knight is a legend, but I mean, it's like I don't know.
It's kind of like if Nick Saban did swing on a reporter, it'd be like, okay, it's Nick Saban though. Like, he's kind of the GOAT. Like, he probably deserved it.
I guess I don't know. I guess
at some point
when
you're a public figure like that, though, you got to maintain your composure.
Yeah,
100% agree with that. 100% agree with that.
I mean, it's one thing like when NATO, it's like he got ejected, he got a technical. That was him defending his team, like standing up for his team, and
right. He never got physical.
Yeah, but he never got. Yeah, like imagine like one day, which I pray and hope that it gets to the boiling point where NATO swings on a ref for a call, because he will ruin that ref's life.
Yeah, Nate looks like a scrapper. He looks like he can throw a haymaker. So, you know what I mean? So
it was a wild scene. Like I'd never seen anything like it. That was the most entertaining part of basketball this week. The Florida Auburn game, amazing. I don't know if you saw the end of that. Auburn, I thought was gonna pull it out Auburn Jesus last second, but they just were awful in that last possession. Like Florida gave that game away.
They really did.
The like steal on the inbound pass, Auburn takes it, and then I just don't know what that guy was doing at the last drive. Like you give the ball to Jabari Smith. It's not that hard. Like he's the best player in basketball most days. I thought that was great. I thought, you get me started on Alabama. Just
unbelievable start to the game. Looks like the
great.
95 Bulls for like the first 15 minutes of that game. Looks like we're going to run away with it. It was 41-29 at one point, and we ended up losing that game.
It makes no sense. This team is so damn inconsistent, man. I'm telling you that this team makes no sense. They're undisciplined. It looks like half the time they don't even care. And then, but when they show up, though, we know they can beat the number 2 team in the country, the number 4 team in the country, the number 8 team in the country. Like they can, and then they should have beat Kentucky, and we let them back in that game. Like there's no way that this type of basketball can be sustained, especially in March.
Yeah,
and like if I'll put it like this: if we play like this, we will be one and done in the tournament.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Yes, and definitely lose to a team that we're not supposed to lose to.
Yeah,
but I think the main point, and I saw this on Twitter, and it was actually a fantastic point. It's not that the team is bad; it's just that they're
lazy.
Lazy to an extent. Yes,
they were lazy,
but very undersized, right? And then they get to a point where they just get so defeated after defending and it just not working, that then they become lazy. And I could totally see that. I mean, like you're trying so hard out there and they're still dropping 80 on you a game. It's like, well, what's the point? But but the thing is like we knew coming into this season without Herb Jones, without John Petty, without Josh Primo, that this team was going to be undersized. We just thought we were going to be able to outscore everybody.
Yeah.
And clearly the 3-point shot has just not been there this year. So it's just not been as reliable.
Like at the time of recording right now, Bama's losing 42-35 to Vanderbilt in the second half. And this team can't score. They can't rebound. They can't.
Well, as you say that, Rojas just got a rebound.
And then he fouled. But like he missed a wide open layup. I mean, it just seems like this team is just so inconsistent. Like they feel like they can just show up and show out. And it sucks to say, I think beating Gonzaga was bad for us.
Yes.
It was so bad for us. It was so bad for us because we beat them and it's like, hey, we're hot shit. We're the best team in the SEC. Like no one can touch us.
That's a bad take. That's a bad take.
No, that's a bad take. We absolutely needed one of those big 3 games to humble us.
Yeah.
And none of them did.
And guess what?
What are you talking about? Kentucky. Kentucky's
no. I'm talking about out of conference. Like Kentucky is like historically great in the SEC. They're the winningest program in SEC basketball.
We've had games where we get shocked. You guys said like, oh, we need to be humbled. We lost to Georgia, right? And we lost to Missouri. Both of those games should have been enough to be like, oh, okay, we can't show up to a game and just win.
No, but Nick, what I'm saying is that one of these big national brands. Like Gonzaga, who literally lost 1 game all year last year. We go in to Seattle and beat them early in the season. Now, if we would have lost that game, I think in a close game, that would have been like, hey, we're not quite there yet. We need to get there. I think winning the way that we did, and I know this is not a popular take. I know this, but I feel like we won really early in the season against a really talented team. Like I said, if we play Gonzaga now, I think Gonzaga runs us off.
Oh, we get dog walked.
Close. I don't even think it's close, Nick. And I think if we played Baylor again, and I think if we played Houston, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't think this team right
But
now.
you're saying the wins that, I wish we would have, not wish, but like, if we would have lost one of those or two of those, maybe we'd be a better team. Those are literally the wins that are keeping us at a 5 seed right now.
And it's also the wins that are giving us this we can show up at any time mentality.
If they think that at this point in the season, then they're just dumb. Then they're dumb.
Look at it because look at the teams that like we have had to struggle win against, who we should be blowing out. Like, Nick, we're allowing these teams to come back. Like Kentucky, we should have beat Kentucky easily. Arkansas.
Let me ask you a question. Does Auburn have the same problem? They struggle win against teams. They almost struggle win against Florida. They struggle win against Florida. I mean Georgia. They struggle win against Missouri. Does Auburn have the same problem?
Auburn has been way more consistent than us all year. It's not even
close. I would 100% agree. They absolutely are way more consistent. That is not my argument. My point is, just because you struggle win against somebody, a dub is a dub. Sometimes the other team's just having a good night. Okay, that's all.
But it's not like we're going. It's a back and forth game. It's doing this, doing that. It's that the fact that we're blowing double-digit leads and not retaining them. We're getting lazy on defense. We're missing our shots. We're not rebounding.
You're acting like Kentucky's not a great team. They're a top 5 team.
I'm not, Nick. I'm not talking about Kentucky. I'm talking about Arkansas. I'm talking about Mississippi State. I'm talking about Georgia.
Arkansas's won 12 of the last 13. They're on an insane run.
Nick, we had a double-digit lead late in the game, and we gave it away. Did we not?
No, you're 100% right. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just saying these teams,
because that shit will kill us in March.
I don't disagree with you, but what I'm saying is, what you're saying is like, these struggle wins. They are playing against good teams, other than Georgia and Missouri. All the teams that we played are arguably good. Okay, Mississippi State, I'll give you that too. They're not great.
Vanderbilt, right now, which we're losing to.
We're losing by 5 with 15 minutes left. Okay. This team 100% could come back and win this game by 15. You can't disagree with that.
No, they can, but the question is, will they? They have the talent to. What I'm saying, Nick, is that this team is just so inconsistent. And I think a lot of it is leadership, and I think a lot of it is attitude. I think a lot of it's attitude. Like, look, if this team if Primo would have came back, and look at that, they hit a 3, awesome. Now starting to get a rhythm. I'm saying if Primo would have came back, and obviously Herb couldn't, and Petty couldn't, and Reese couldn't because they were all seniors, but it just seems like a lot of leadership is missing off this team. Like, there's no enforcer, it feels like.
We're missing a lot of length. That's the thing. Primo, unbelievable length on the outside. Namari Burnett, who tore his ACL prior to the season, amazing length on the outside. Those are the kind of guys that you miss that can body up a point guard or a shooting guard that are 2 or 3 inches smaller than them. That's what Auburn has that makes them so good. That's what makes Baylor so good, is their guards are so big. And the fact that we beat Baylor, 100% agree with you. I have no idea how we did that, because that's
we beat Baylor is because that was the most consistent game Bama's played all year.
We walked into Coleman that day and said that we are going to beat the brakes off you.
Yes.
That is the mentality that we went in with. But the issue is we do not go into every game with that mentality. Like, we should not have lost to Georgia, even remote. We should have covered by 10.
Yeah,
at least. We walked in there expecting a cakewalk because it's Georgia. So they're inconsistent and they get complacent because they know that they can beat big teams, but then it's these little teams. And if we go into the tournament acting as complacent as we are, it's not going to end well.
So this team, it's
if you're acting complacent in March Madness in the tournament, then you just don't care about basketball. I can kind of see walking into Georgia Stadium in January and being like, okay, whatever. Like, I can kind of get that, but if you're complacent in March in the tournament, you just don't like basketball.
I think a part of me is like the ceiling for this team. I would say the ceiling for this team is Elite Eight. If they go out, they play their best basketball. Their ceiling is Elite Eight. Their what is it? Their bottom is round of 64. They're just that they can be that inconsistent. Like this team's bottom should be Sweet 16, but just from the inconsistency I've seen all season, and it's like okay, are they finally just going to get a turnaround SEC tournament time? And they're just be like, hey, they're hitting their shots now. It's like, this is finally what's going to happen. I pray it is, because obviously, like, I want this team to go far. And now they just hit it and one, hopefully to take the lead for the first time. I think this team, though, if they're one of these teams too, where it's like, if they get hot at the right time, like, look out.
Right.
Oh,
that's
exactly.
The thing.
We started
have
the
the
season
talent.
9-2.
We have the talent to make it really far. I mean, you're saying ceiling's Elite Eight. I would say ceiling is honestly Final Four or championship game. Because if you're, what you were saying 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
If any team can get hot, if this team gets hot,
yes,
look out, because there's not a damn team in this country that can run with us.
There's a reason.
Athletically, I mean, you're saying, again, Gonzaga, Houston, Baylor, those three teams
Tennessee,
that you would say are probably arguably the best teams in the country. I mean, Auburn, you can make that argument for.
Auburn's
Kentucky.
my number one team. Like, even though I lost at Florida's just from going to games there and whatnot. Like, it's a loud stadium. Like, it's a loud arena.
Every team that I just mentioned,
yeah,
Alabama has either played and won or played and hung with them. Other than Auburn, at Auburn, we got railroaded on that one. But
it was
Tuscaloosa,
a 2-point game in the second half.
Right. The game, we can hang with anybody on the court. Yeah. It's just as long as we can keep our mental aspect in it. And that's 100% where you come in line here, where you're saying the leadership, because we have the Herb Jones and the John Petty and Alex Reese last year. We had leadership on the team. Now we don't. Now we're relying on Jaden Shackelford and Javon Quinterly. And all of these guys, they are fantastic players. And I would say Javon Quinterly is an NBA athlete. And Noah Gurley, if he can really, hone his skills, to me, I think is actually an NBA talent as well, because he has the size. But you're 100% right. What this team is missing is leadership and length on the outside. And that's it. If we have those things, this is a Final Four team. Yeah.
And it's not like a hypothetical of like, oh, could they beat the big teams? Like, no, we've seen them beat the big teams.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, I think this team just got a little full of itself in the beginning of the year, because a lot of us didn't really know what was going to happen. And obviously, I'm glad that they beat these big teams. I think this team was just so young that they didn't really want anyone to keep them in check. So like Herb and Alex Reese and Petty and Primo would have kept these guys in check, like winning these games. Like, hey, like, this is great, but like this isn't the end goal. I think that they were just so young and they kind of got like a little full of themselves, and it comes back to bite, because like Bond said, you beat up on these big guys, you don't take the little guys seriously. But I think this team can get hot. If they get hot, look out. I think right now I think they're fighting for a 4 or 5 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Oh yeah, I'd say top end right now, 4 seed. Bottom end is probably like a 6. I mean, I think we're well in. I mean, based on the wins that we have, if we win the games we're supposed to, win a couple games maybe in the SEC tournament, we're a stone cold lock for a 4 or 5 seed.
There's a reason we have 10 losses and we're still ranked in the top 25.
Exactly, but that's my point. You don't win that game against Gonzaga, but you win the games against Georgia and Missouri. You're not ranked right now, and you're probably not projected a
last 4 in
5 seed.
Yeah.
Well, you're not at the last 4 in. You're probably like a little bit less than that.
Okay, fair.
But I mean, point being though, I think it's like to sit here and say, and I agree with you on all points except for, man, I really wish we would have lost to Gonzaga. So
I didn't say it like that. I didn't say it like that, Nick. I just said that like
Do you think this team would be better right now if we did lose to them?
I don't know that. I'm just saying that, like, from what I've seen from an attitude standpoint, is that I think it filled their head up a little too big. They got their heads too big a little bit. It's only because it's a young team, and like I said, they don't have that leadership to keep them in check. Like JD Davison was literally playing high school basketball a year ago.
Sure.
And then he goes off and he puts on a show against Gonzaga. Like, yeah, it's like my head's gonna be full too. And then look, I know he's gonna be an NBA guy, and I know he's going to light up the league when he like hones in on his skill, but I really hope he comes back for another year, because I think if he comes back for another year and he lights it up, especially with the recruiting class Bama has next year, dangerous.
He's a lottery pick almost on just athleticism alone, but if he comes back,
he'll go top
lights
15.
It up. 100%.
Wow, what a play by Ross. All right, so speaking of very disappointing basketball, NBA All-Star Weekend happened, and it was the most embarrassing, like, Saturday of All-Star Weekend I've ever seen. The game itself was actually great. I think Steph Curry was just...
Oh, he was electric.
He was so much fun, dude. It was like watching NBA Jam, having the sliders all the way turned up on 3 points, and he just like, dude, it was insane.
That Twitter screenshot where they highlight Steph and the ball, and he's already almost back across half court while the ball is not even at the peak of its arc.
It was amazing. Like the fact that someone is so talented enough where they can shoot the 3, turn around, asking a fan, did that go in before it even goes in? That is just unreal. And I love the fact that the MVP trophy is named the Kobe Bryant Award, the Kobe Bryant trophy, which is absolutely amazing. I think that the All-Star game is great. And then LeBron, what a crazy turnaround fadeaway to win the game was just like, wow, especially in Cleveland. I thought that was fantastic. My problem is that the slam dunk contest has become a joke. It hasn't been good in years. There's no big names that do it anymore. They're not even dunking. Like people, like the judges are bored. Like Shaquille O'Neal, they showed
yawning.
Yeah, he was yawning, and they showed a picture of him when Vince Carter did it. And then where he's got his like handheld camcorder to where he's doing now, and he's bored. And I'm just like, that shouldn't be it. Like All-Star Weekend should be fun. And there's just no big names that do it anymore. And I think the NBA really needs to make it an incentive to want to do the dunk contest.
So that would be my question to you, because I personally didn't get a chance to watch it this weekend. But obviously it sounds extremely underwhelming. No big names to really even be excited about. So how would you what are some ideas you would think to incentivize maybe the big
$1 million prize? $1 million.
I like that. And honestly, they got the money to do it too.
Yeah. $1 million, winner gets $1 million. And then you get names like
we need Ja Morant.
Zion. Like Zion if he's healthy. Herb Jones, you can get shit, what if LeBron his last year says screw it, this is my last year, I'm gonna do the dunk contest, which everyone has wanted him to do since he's gotten in the league. MJ's done it, Kobe Bryant's done it, Vince Carter's done it, Nate Robinson's done it. He's won it twice or 3 times, I think. Dwight Howard. I mean, what if Giannis got into it? I would love to see Giannis into it. Russell Westbrook. Just some big names over the years that could have just been holy crap, this would be so much fun. And
Blake Griffin pretty much made a career out of that one dunk contest.
Blake Griffin had the most overrated dunk, jumping over the hood of a Kia.
Yeah, it was overrated, but I mean, it
was exciting though. Presentation,
the presentation, and he catapulted that into being a superstar in the league. And honestly, I don't ever believe he really had the talent to be mentioned in the same breath as LeBron and Kobe and Carmelo Anthony at the time. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think if you incentivize the big names to get involved. Yes. I mean, at least it would be more interesting to watch, just because, that's LeBron James out there in the dunk contest. I would watch that.
Yeah,
I couldn't care less if some, second round pick out of Seton Hall was doing the dunk contest. I just don't care. I can't get into it.
I mean, it's there's just no big names anymore. No one wants to do it. And it sucks because it's I grew up watching the dunk contest. It was so much fun, and the creativity and just the excitement and the I watch it for the 3-point contest. CJ McCollum got traded to the Pels a couple weeks ago, and I've been following that pretty closely, and so I wanted to see him do well. And it's just I need something. I watched Herb Jones over the weekend, and I watched CJ McCollum, and
so I didn't get a chance to watch the 3-point contest. CJ won that one?
No, he didn't win, but he performed well.
Okay, so who won that? Was it Karl Anthony Towns? I saw he lit it up, but I didn't know maybe if that was a prior year or not.
Who won it? It was I'm blanking on names. Hold on.
I just remember seeing a video of him just lighting it up. It just seemed like he couldn't miss almost.
It was
It was Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn. Yeah, he big man had a jump shot for sure. He was killing it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like we need a change. I think NBA really, and it's not just that. Like the only team that has their All-Star break figured out is the MLB, because the All-Star. I love the All-Star game. I love the home run derby, and I love the All-Star game. Absolutely love it. And I think
is that the lead? Does the MLB have it to where the winner of the All-Star game, they get the home field advantage in the World Series, or am I making that up completely?
No, they did.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't know if it's still the same, but they used to do that. Where the winner
doing that would be really fun. Do they do that or no?
So no, they don't anymore. They used to.
And I think that would be so much fun.
And then it went to teams, because then they're like, all right, so basically it's like picking, because the West Coast or the Western Conference was killing the Eastern Conference and vice versa, just due to the players. And it just, the Western Conference need to win every year. And then now it's like, depending on what team wins the quarter, they donate $100,000 to that team's charity, which is a really cool incentive as well. Because that's why the All-Star games are like 160 to like 163 or whatever. So it's like, I love all the scoring. I wish they play a little more defense, but it's just like, look how far I can shoot a three. Look at this awesome in-game dunk I can do.
That one clip though, I want to say maybe it was a couple years ago, and it was the final minutes of the All-Star game, and it was everybody going hard as heck. Like that video, like that 2 minutes of basketball was unbelievable to watch. It was better than any regular season NBA game.
Yes.
And I fully will take the heat on that, because just to see like all the big names on one court just trying so hard was incredibly entertaining.
Yeah. So if you guys could pick one person for a dunk contest, like who are you picking?
Oh, John Moran, obviously.
Oh, God damn it, Nick.
That dude is a freak athlete, and I'm pretty sure he's going to tear his ACL whenever he like lands on his leg one time wrong, because he lands so weird after he dunks. But the dude is unbelievable.
If healthy, I'm going Zion. When healthy, I'm going Zion. Absolutely. I think.
Will he ever be healthy is the question.
I think he's going to come back. I really do. I think. And we'll touch on it in a second, but like I really think he's going to come back. I think the whole media thing has been a little bit overblown, just because there really hasn't been a lot of NBA news during the break.
I agree with that. I agree.
I think Zion. I feel like Zion had a bigger part to play in that CJ McCollum trade than a lot of people are giving off credit for. Like Zion, from everything I've heard from the media people that I get to talk to in New Orleans, like Zion loves New Orleans. I think it's this camp, there's people that don't like it.
His family does not like New Orleans.
Yeah,
based on this article that I'm reading.
His camp, what like where do you want to be? Like New York, LA?
It's not fair. He gets drafted. Look, okay, no offense. Like the Knicks are a dumpster fire.
They are.
If you're gonna go play in New York, go play in Brooklyn. But
right.
But they don't have any draft capital, and they probably don't have a lot of salary cap. You don't get to pick where you're drafted. Like you haven't even given New Orleans a fair shot. Like New Orleans is a young, dangerous team. Like Herb is going to win Rookie of the Year.
100. Yep.
Brandon Ingram is a monster now. You have good depth around you. CJ McCollum is I would say top 30 NBA player in the league right now, and he's been lighting it up since he's got to New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And they're just missing is that big guy, and they're missing Zion. Like this team could they get another draft class in there. And some free agents, like this team can make some noise in the West, because the Suns are going to have to break up eventually, because they're going to have to pay Ayton and Booker and Paul. And I just don't think they can retain everybody. The Lakers are a dumpster fire. The Clippers aren't doing anything. And then Portland, I mean, God bless Dame Lillard. Like I hope that man gets free, but I think there's plenty of opportunity for the Pels to become like a 5 seed, a 6 seed, maybe even a 4 seed if they get the right type of backing. So I think Zion just needs to come in, give it a fair shot, and then look, if it doesn't work out, like even Anthony Davis played a good chunk of his career in New Orleans, and he actually performed very well before he left. He just left on terrible terms. Like we actually liked him a lot as a player, because like everyone knows I'm a Heat fan because I'm a big Dwayne Wade guy, but like I would go to Hornets games and Pelicans games. So like I enjoy watching them do well. And Zion can be beloved, but right now it's starting to turn into Herb Jones's team.
Yeah, I mean, it really does seem like the city is all around Herb, which I love. I mean, and he's an unbelievable player. I don't think
I didn't see
Alabama really knew what we had when he was here. I mean, we all knew he was a fantastic defensive player. I mean, probably a top 3 defensive player in the country when he was at Alabama his final year. And he was slowly starting to develop a jump shot, and he actually had built a little bit of muscle on him, so he was able to kind of handle people in the post.
Yeah.
But, man, he has lit it up in New Orleans this year.
He's got his own hashtag, not on Herb.
Not on Herb, man.
Like he's going to be at worst second team All NBA defense.
That's a floor right there.
Yeah,
I think
he's gonna. I think right now he's the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. Just because as great as defense as he's done, and he's had a big impact on his team, I think he's played absolutely fantastic.
Where does New Orleans sit as of right now? Are they a 10 seed?
They're the 11 seed.
11 seed? Okay. They're right there on the cusp of
if
10,
Zion comes back healthy, and there's a lot of talk going around he's going to come back for the last part of the season. They can sneak into the play-in game.
Mm-hmm. You watch out, man. That team with Zion, with Herb, with CJ, that's a dangerous team if you let them in the playoffs.
So
for sure.
They're 23-36. They're tied with the San Antonio Spurs right now for the last team out. Portland's 25-34 with no CJ. I feel like they're going to start to slide back some. And then you have Lakers at 9. So right now it's Lakers, Portland for the play-in game. I feel like that's definitely going to change. Look, I think, especially with the points New Orleans putting up, like once they get a defensive presence like Zion and a rebounding back in, I think it's going to be dangerous. I was thinking about this the other day, though, Nick, and I thought this would be so much fun. So LeBron came out and said, hey, no matter where my son goes or gets drafted, he's going to go play. What if Bronny Jr. gets drafted by the Pels and then goes and plays in New Orleans for
would be unreal. I mean, that entire year of the NBA is going to be must-watch TV. Whatever team he goes to, and just like that, Alabama is up 9 with 7 minutes to go. So
love to see it. Well,
that's
finally,
what you want. But any team that he goes to, and then in turn LeBron goes to play for them, is going to be a must watch. I mean, they're going to be primetime every single. I mean, that's going to be like Jordan's final year with the Bulls. It's like you have to tune in to watch that game. And I mean, how cool would it be? Like whatever team they go to, they win a championship that year. That'd be so sweet.
It's going to be interesting to see because Bronny obviously is not going to get to choose where he gets drafted. But if there's a team, like think about this. If you're a run-of-the-mill team, like you're maybe like a piece or two away, and you're like, you know what, we need to spark something up. Like we need attraction, we need excitement. Why not trade up and go get Bronny Jr., knowing that, hey, we also get to add his dad at a reduced rate?
Oh, yeah, because he'll take a minimum contract just to play with the son.
He said he would. He said money will not be an issue at that time. Like, say, like, if I don't know, excuse me, what's an NBA team that, like, desperately needs
Memphis?
Well, they got Morant.
True.
So, plus, we don't know what they're going to be because you got to realize, all right, so Bronny's a junior in high school right now. He's got a senior year next year, and then he has at least minimum 1 year of college. So he's got technically it'll be 3 seasons.
Right.
So we don't really know what's going to happen in 3 seasons. So let's say, for example, oh man, could you imagine the Knicks? Like LeBron James going to Madison Square Garden.
And I could definitely see that being a thing because obviously New York being that market, like they're always looking for the big names and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. I could see that definitely being a thing. And that would be so cool to watch. So cool to watch.
All right. So you can't pick your team at all. So you can't pick your team. You got to pick someone else. Where would you like to see Bronny and LeBron go? So you got to think about 3 years down the line. So think about the players that are in here now. 3 years down the line, what do you think would be the most fun? Intern, we'll start with you. It can't be your own team.
The Heat.
I was gonna say that. I was literally gonna say the Heat. I thought
love it.
I was gonna say that. I mean, I'm not an Atlanta fan, like when it comes to basketball.
Yeah.
But I think him in Atlanta would be a lot of fun because there's a ton of like young guys there, and they obviously already have the point guard. Is Bronny Jr. What is he, like a shooting guard or what? What is he?
Bronny is a yes, he is a shooting guard.
Okay, so he's a 2. So they'd have the 1-2 and Bron Sr. would probably be like the 4.
Yeah.
And they could surround them with some young talent, and that would be a fun team to watch. So I would go Atlanta. I think that'd be fun.
Atlanta? You mean Miami? Or
no, I mean Miami would be fun.
Trae Young and them.
Yeah, Trae Young. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Cleveland. I'm gonna say he ends his career in Cleveland, and he passes the torch to his son.
Okay, Cleveland would be really cool. I love that pick.
Yeah,
but also Dallas with Luka would be a lot of fun.
There's a part of me that thinks Luka is not going to finish his career in Dallas.
Oh, I don't think he will. But wouldn't that be cool though? Like Luka finally gets some freaking talent around him, and they can make a run. That'd be cool.
I think if Cleveland would just be like, how great would that be for the storybook ending? Be like, look, LeBron goes one more year in Cleveland, and he gets to pass the torch to his son, and then Bronny Jr. will be beloved in Cleveland as well. Like he would come in and he would just automatically be loved. Now, he would have unrealistic expectations, I'm pretty sure. But like, I think having his dad there to help guide him especially with the media and everything, like him being there in Cleveland with him would be a huge help. And I feel like it would be great for his game. And then you have Colin Sexton. If they're going to resign him, I hope they resign him. I think Kevin Love will probably be retired by then. Yeah. But I think that would just be an awesome storybook ending. And then, dude, what if they go out with like a title? How great would that be? Like
anywhere in Cleveland, yes, like 100 times better than anywhere else. But like anywhere, if they win a championship and then Bron retires, like his first year with Bronny Jr., that'd be so cool.
Me as a Heat fan, like I would love it to be finishing it with Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra where he got his first ring. Like me selfishly, I would love to see that. But I just think Cleveland would just be even better just because he's from there, started his career there, went back there, brought him a championship. And, goosebumps just thinking about it. I really, really am. And then I don't know. The problem is, though, is that, like, I feel like the first problem is like, okay, where is he going to go to school? So, like, I'm looking at his list right now. He is currently the number 34 ranked player in the country. He is the 4th overall ranked player in California, and he's the 6th overall shooting guard in America, which is really great player. He's a 4-star. Right now, his college list is Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, and North Carolina. I pray to God he does not go to Kentucky because I don't want Bama to play him twice a year. Duke would be interesting because LeBron said he would have gone to Duke because he's a huge fan of Coach K. Kansas is just historically great, and UNC is historically great.
Isn't this Coach K's last year?
It is. So, yeah.
Yeah, so he's probably not going to Duke.
No, I don't think so either. And you brought it up before the show.
Bronny Jr. to Alabama. I want it so bad. God, I want it so bad.
I mean, could you imagine LeBron and New Coleman? Like, hell, you probably help pay for it.
Hell, you probably would. Hell, name the damn building after him at that point. Who cares?
Dude, LeBron James Court?
No, yeah, absolutely.
My God, that'd be sick.
No, LeBron James Coliseum.
LeBron James, the whole building, not just the court, the whole dang building.
Yeah. Witness court. We get witness court. And
I love that.
Bro, we get new. Our uniforms are all LeBron's, and
do you know how much crap we could talk to Auburn people if LeBron James Jr. came to Alabama? That would be so much fun.
But flip side, what if Bruce Pearl?
That would be the worst.
But
I would hate that.
But this kid's gonna get so much money in NIL. Like, think about that. Like Bronny Jr. is gonna get so much money.
It's crazy because obviously they don't need it. But you're right. Like the NIL deal is going to be nuts. That actually might be a record NIL deal. Like to that point,
it has the potential to be.
I can't think of anybody else that like coming up or even playing right now that as far as like the stardom goes.
Arch Manning.
Oh, he's gonna have his own shoe line the minute he gets recruited.
True.
Yeah, dude, Arch Manning is going to clean up. Especially,
so that's actually interesting. Who do you think is going to make the most money in NIL deal? Archie or
Arch will, because he'll be in college longer than Bronny will.
True. Okay. Yeah. Good point.
That's the only reason. But Bronny's going to go to the NBA and immediately make, 8 figures.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just off endorsements alone. Plus, not to mention like all the father-son commercials they're gonna do with like Sprite and Beats and Tonal and all the shit, all the LeBron shit. And then, but like Arch is gonna be in college like minimum 3 years anyway, so he's gonna rack up all that.
Yeah, yeah, you're right on that. That was a good take.
I still don't know where he's gonna go. I don't think he's going to Bama. I don't think he's going to Georgia.
I could see Ole Miss.
I really think he's going to go to LSU or Ole Miss.
I don't see LSU. I think
I see LSU because, like, dude, he has
no connection there, though.
Yeah, but he goes to school in New Orleans. He's got teammates at Newman High School that are going to go to LSU. Like, LSU recruited the Mannings hard and didn't get one of them. I don't look. I think he would go to Ole Miss, play with Kiffin. I think he put up great numbers there. He'd come in, be a day one starter. And then with Brian Kelly, which I'll give Brian Kelly this. He can coach a quarterback. Like he's had some decent quarterbacks play at Notre Dame, but I don't know. It's something about it. Like, dude, if he goes to Louis, he could be like Joe Burrow level loved if he goes to LSU.
He's going to be that level loved anywhere he goes, probably.
That's not true. But, dude, he stays in state as a Manning, and then he goes, and then he gets to a national championship, or he wins one at LSU. Like, he might be more beloved than Coach O and Joe Burrow.
Would you bet LSU against the field?
Well, not now.
Well, what would you put a wager, a gentleman's wager? I'm not talking about money, but like a gentleman's wager on I'm going to pick Alabama.
Okay.
Just because for his brand, the national spotlight that Alabama gives,
he won't play. He won't play. Ty Sampson's better. Ty Sampson
I don't know about that.
And Monroe's better. And then I don't get me wrong. I think Arch is going to be a really good quarterback. I think he's going to be successful. I think he has unsurmountable expectations and hype. And I'm sorry, like that ego shit just does not fly, especially at Bama. Like I think Ty Sampson is like, he's that dude. He's a dual threat. I just think he's going to be better. Like I think Bryce comes back for another year. We got Monroe, and then Ty Sampson comes in, and I just
give me Alabama. You take LSU. If he goes somewhere else, if he goes to Ole Miss, whatever, we'll call it a wash. But give me Alabama. You take LSU, and let's put a little stake wager on it.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, wouldn't it be crazy? I really, if I had to put money on it, I think he's going to go to Ole Miss.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if we're putting money on it, yeah, Ole Miss I think is
gut feeling, like what I would do if I was Arch, I would 100% go to LSU because he'll make the most money. He's from there. He's a Manning.
Why would he make the most money at LSU?
Dude, he's a Manning. Like, they are beloved in the state of Louisiana.
They're beloved everywhere.
Yes, but like it's different. It is. I can't explain that anymore. But like, they are New Orleans royalty. Like,
okay,
especially like Archie Manning is beloved in the city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana, and so like, and then I think with Cooper, his dad, going to Ole Miss, and Eli going to Ole Miss, I feel like that'll feed into it. Tennessee's not even on the list. I don't know.
Tennessee's a dumpster fire. He'd be an idiot.
I think Arch might kind of want to do his own thing. Like,
I could definitely see that. I mean, if he goes to Ole Miss, he's obviously always going to be compared. If he goes to, but he's probably going to be compared either way. I mean, if he went and played football on the moon, they'd compare him somehow.
Well, the moon ain't never beat the SEC.
Well, the moon doesn't play an SEC schedule. So,
Vaughn, where do you think? Where if you think Arch is going to go somewhere, where do you think he's going to go?
Oh man,
his top 5 is Florida, LSU, Georgia, Bama, Texas. Which Florida and LSU just got put on there not too long ago.
Right. How many years does he have left in high school?
This coming up as the senior year.
Okay. Has Florida named their new head coach yet?
Yeah, it's Billy Napier, which is a really good hire.
Yeah,
he's a Louisiana guy.
Ooh.
He's a Saban guy, but he just left. He just left Louisiana Lafayette.
Right. Honestly, man, if he wants to go in and start day one, I would say Georgia. As much as I hate it.
That would make me sick. That'd make me sick in my stomach.
Because the mailman's coming back next year.
Yeah.
And then who else do they have at QB behind him? That
Carson Beck and which he's a 5-star guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say a 5-star kid.
And then they did get another 5-star kid this year. He's apparently supposed to be really good.
So my only issue with that, and this is a quick tangent, is like, okay, 5-star kid, but you couldn't beat out Stetson Bennett.
Right. Kirby Smart is a loyalty dude, and he's stuck with him. Like, and look, it paid off for him, right?
That team would arguably be on the same level as 19 LSU, 20 Alabama, 21 Georgia. They would be all in the same conversation as the best team to ever play college football if they didn't have Stetson Bennett at quarterback. If they had like a stud at quarterback, that team would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, but I think they got the job done, so we can't really say anything about it. Like, it's the same shit with like 2015 Bama. It's like, hey, we wouldn't have lost to LSU or Ole Miss had we started Jake Coker instead of Cooper Bateman.
No, I mean that's true.
So everything happens. A lot of ifs, a lot of if, ands, and buts. But I mean, like, Georgia won, and it was more to the fact of their defense. And
my point being, though, you're not grouping 2021 Georgia in with 19 LSU.
God,
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You would be if they had a quarterback.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. All right. Well, it's been a day for all of us. We are kind of tired, and like I said, I fly out to. I'm actually going to be at Mardi Gras in New Orleans from Wednesday to Tuesday, so I am going to be tired, to say the least. If you see me out there, please come and say hi. I'd love to talk to you, and
go give him a big hug.
Give me a big Nick, I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger. And if you see me throwing beads off a balcony, no, you didn't. You did not. But if seriously though, I will be on Bourbon Street all throughout New Orleans the next week. So if you see me, like, please come and say hi. I can't wait to share some content with you. I may or may not be on camera doing interviews and making a complete fool out of myself and other people, mainly other people I'm going to be making a fool out of. But you can follow me online at The Real Cruzox on Instagram and Twitter. Please like and subscribe to the podcast on Apple and Spotify, and of course the YouTube channel at Boot Crew Media. Damn, Twitter's blowing up. We got 2K followers on Twitter now. We're moving up in the world. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. It's been great so far. We're getting some national recognition from 24/7 Sports and Saturday Down South as well. Woo-woo.
Yeah, awesome interview, by the way. Like, we've talked about it offline, but that was a great interview. And,
shout out to former Bama QBs coming on the pod.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, great. We're great pod for third string quarterbacks, no doubt.
So Mac Jones from 2017,
right? Super savage Mac Jones. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Well, like you said though, Cruz. I mean, like, obviously, the show's Twitter blowing up. That's honestly incredible. And don't think we don't see all like the kind messages that you guys do send in to us personally and on the show. So we appreciate you guys, and be sure to drop a follow at nperkins96. Building that little community over there. It's been a good time. Bon Snow, what you got?
You can follow me on Twitter at @bonsnow_, and make sure you go follow the show's Instagram account at the Oxcord Pod, and then also our TikTok account at Oxcord Pod.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, love you. I hope to somehow survive Mardi Gras, and we will see you guys next week.